So, hello and welcome to 12 Noon Live. So, today is the first anniversary of Virat Kohli's test retirement, and it has been exactly 1 year since that Instagram post came in and he announced his retirement from the format he loved the most. And the unfortunate thing is that he never got to complete the 10,000 run mark in the longest format of the game. We were there in Australia. Devashish Da was there, Rohit was there. We all covered the Border-Gavaskar trophy, and we'll talk about how things unfolded in that particular series, and of course the legacy which Virat Kohli has left behind in red ball cricket, the longest format of the game, and a format which he still advocates to be for the youngsters to play. And take it as the most serious thing. I'll start with Devashish Da. Devashish Da, you have covered Virat Kohli I mean, since his debut, I'm pretty sure. So your memories of Virat Kohli, the Test cricketer, and of course you were there in that Border-Gavaskar Trophy, Sydney. Uh, we all remember that visual of him nicking that ball to the slip corner and walking absolutely livid by himself. Let us take us through his journey as a Test cricketer, Devashish.
Yeah, Shubhan, it all felt like just it happened just a few days back. Means that 1 year has passed, and none of us, means Rohit, you or me, none of us felt that it was perhaps his last Test innings. We thought that he could have gone on to play for a few more Test matches, but that was not the case. And what a start he had in that series, that 100 not out, and eventually paving the way for India going 1-0 ahead in that first test, and we were jubilant. I mean, in fact, the Indian fans at the in Perth were jubilant, and obviously he has a phenomenal record. Have had the pleasure of covering Virat since he made that captaincy debut in 2014 series when Mahendra Singh Dhoni decided to step back, and it was Virat. And what a way to start as Test captains, scoring that 100, and eventually India just missed to win that Test match in Adelaide, and then obviously that 2018 series, India went on to win this first ever Test series 2020-21, and none of us were part because of COVID, and obviously the last series we were all there, and it has been a brilliant journey for Virat and also for us, Sumikda, Bharat, you, Rohit, me, Boryada, Trisha, Gargi, whoever has covered Virat. It has been a phenomenal journey, Shubhai.
I'll go to Rohit because he was there in Australia. Rohit, when we started the tour, as Devashish also said, it started on a fairy tale note. Virat scoring that century in Perth. Even he did not know that he had completed his century. Then suddenly the celebration came in. India had won the historic test match. But after that, everything went downhill. Scott Boland coming up as his nemesis. But we never could have imagined that he would call it quits. He would retire from Test cricket before playing his next series, and things. It was an incomplete story. He could not complete his
Yeah.
10,000 Test runs. So Virat Kohli, the Test cricketer, feels like an incomplete story, a romantic movie which never had its fairy tale ending.
Yeah, obviously means he has everything with him. When you talk about that golden years of 2016 to 2020, I think, yeah, before that also the way he has scored runs in Australia. But I think this Australian tour, I remember, me and Debashish Da, as soon as we landed in Perth, we were rushing towards the old stadium of Perth, not to the Waka. Yes, to the Waka, not to the Optus. And because we came to know that Virat is batting at that point of time, and I remember, him scoring that 50. So not only that 100 he scored at the Optus, but that 50 also. Then a ball hit him also. So the way it all started, it started like, uh, we can expect more from Virat Kohli, and his previous tours were also really good. 2021, we all remember he just played one match, but before 2021, the 2018 the first match India played at the Optus, and it was the most trickiest wicket of that tour. 2018 Adelaide was good, then obviously Sydney was good, Melbourne was good, but Perth wicket was at that point of time was the trickiest one, and nobody touched him as far as that that whole Australian squad is concerned, the whole Indian squad is concerned, his 100, and there's nothing as far as contributions are concerned. So I think I still can't, make myself believe this, that, we are talking on a Virat Kohli retirement, and it's 1 year to Virat Kohli's retirement. Because you and me, Shubhanda, I remember this doing a video. I don't know whether you remember this or not, but you said that do it in Hindi and it will be like crazy the way you are narrating. I remember I was just standing in that Don Bredman pavilion, and I was just narrating that Virat Kohli walk, the last walk of his after that Adelaide test ended. And it was like there is something in his mind which he want to, soak in at that point of time, that, maybe this, and that video is still there somewhere in a YouTube videos section, and I'll try to pull it off. But in that particular video, I remember I was talking about this, that the way he was absorbing the scenarios, the way he was absorbing, the stadium and the vibe of it. I think this must be his last walk from the Adelaide, because we were very sure that Virat Kohli won't return to Australia. It's obviously the Virat Kohli retirement, maybe at the 2027 WTC cycle, or maybe after that, or maybe the England tour. We were very sure about that he is going to England, and if England will be a similar kind of disaster, then there might be some tough calls to be done. But I think that Sydney call, surprised all of us. But there are multiple moments, as you were pulling out that video in Brisbane, the way he was giving the pep talk, the way he was communicating with the players. I remember him doing the captaincy for the last time when Jasprit Bumrah said, "I need to rush to the hospital," and Rohit was not there. This is the Brisbane visual, where you can see Virat Kohli giving a pep talk there. So there are multiple visuals. I remember his Adelaide practice session. We all remember the Perth 100, and Adam Gilchrist having a word with him. His flying kiss to Anushka Sharma there. So everything is coming at this point of time to my memory, that what had happened in that particular tour. But yeah, scoring that 100, going 1-0 up, to then we came to know that there are some captaincy discussions also. Let's not go there, towards the ugly side of the story, that what had happened after Brisbane. But yeah, then the Melbourne thing happened and the Sydney thing happened. But yeah, it was a glow means. I think whenever I call it a day, I'll remember it one of the best tours of my career. I don't know what will happen next, but yeah, what a tour, and what a experience. Yes, not very good memories, but I never think like that I witnessed the end of Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma simultaneously in a Test cricket tour. Mute, Shubhanda, mute.
That's what I was trying to say. Be it in Mumbai, be it in Sydney, I never imagined I was covering the last of Virat Kohli, be it in home soil or away soil. Test cricket is something which I always felt Virat will retire the last from, but ultimately, as we always say, not everything is ends in the note that you want to.
I think Shamikda will start with "Kya hua tera wada."
Let's go to Shamikda. Shamikda, your memories of Virat Kohli, the Test player, the Test captain, and of course the Border-Gavaskar Trophy. We all remember that story from Indian Express, how it came, and suddenly there was a star in that entire touring media. I'm pretty sure back in India also it was the same thing. Everyone was speculating who is that player. Everyone was trying to say that it was Virat Kohli, but suddenly things did not go his way after that Perth test, after that century. Uh, Caught ball and ran in and kept on nicking his edge, and Virat had no answers to that. But test retirement, did you think it would come after that Sydney test?
I still believe Shubhan it was premature. I still believe because yes, when he communicated to the BCCI that this is my last, I want to hang up my test boots. He was asked to reconsider his decision by the powers that be, but Virat Kohli wanted to leave on his own terms. He felt the nudge. The atmosphere in the Indian team had changed, in the dressing room had changed, and he felt the nudge. And Virat being Virat, he always wanted to leave on his own terms. And then That was last summer, last winter when I and Debashish were there in Guwahati, India versus South Africa second test, and we are covering. And I saw Dhruv Jurel coming out to bat at number 4 and stabbing at Simon Harmer like a novice and getting out. So it it was a bit painful. Virat still had Test cricket left in him. As regards the memories, the lots. I have been covering him since his under 19 days, basically. Since his under 19 days, I have been covering. What I miss is his press conferences. Such
Oh,
candid press conferences. Such candid press conferences. I give you an example, and you can go back to check the audio in Ranchi. It was my question that Virat, given that such low turnout for games, do you think India should have just like England or Australia 5 or 6 strong test centers? And he instantly replied, yes. You take the white ball cricket to different corners, rotation, but for test cricket, you must have 5 or 6 test centers. So, and many more. I think he was India's most influential captain along with Saurabh Ganguly. What he did for Indian cricket. And for a period after that 2013 series, and Devashish also was there, after the 2013 series in England, it felt like Virat Kohli, it would be nigh on impossible for Virat Kohli to come back and make a mark in Test cricket. He proved everyone wrong. And for that next 4 or 5 years, he was Test cricket. You see this, I mean, everywhere during the time of the IPL, everybody in that team valued put Test cricket on a pedestal, and that is for Virat Kohli. A whole generation. You see, when you see a Shubman Gill today, and that he also puts Test cricket on a pedestal, and he's constantly asking BCCI to have a camp before the Sri Lanka series because he doesn't want he wants proper preparation for Test cricket. That is that legacy being carried forward. So Virat Kohli, but this is Virat Kohli as a Test cricketer now, water under the bridge. But what he did during that period after the England series until 2021, before his career had sort of went into a decline, a bit of a decline, certain technical
yeah,
issues arose. But during that period, nobody could touch him. Nobody could touch him. He was Test cricket during
very
that
true. Very true. Bharat, he's also someone, who has waited 18 years for an IPL trophy, but as soon as he lifts that IPL trophy, the first thing he says that, it still does not come close to the feeling of winning a test match or winning a test series for your country. That is how big an advocate Virat Kohli was for Test cricket. Your memories of Virat Kohli, the Test player, the Test captain, and of course, do you feel he had Test cricket left in him?
Yeah, see, at his best, he was definitely a great test cricketer and also perhaps India's best test captain. Because if you notice, it was under him that India started to have those 3, 4 fast bowlers who would just form as a group and rip through the opposition. That is the first time I saw not just 1 or 2 fast bowlers, but 3, 4 fast bowlers operating together as a group in tandem. So a lot of credit has to go to him as far as his test batting is concerned. Yes, he has played a lot of good knocks. Obviously, that knock in Perth has already been mentioned in the 2018 Test series. I even go back to the Test series played in 2011-12 when there was a lot of pressure on him. Obviously, one certain cricketer was already advocating for him to be dropped, former cricketer, and at that time he played that really good knock of 75 on on those lines at the Waka. There's a lot of grass cover, and he, I think, put on a brilliant show. It was a gutsy show because every others were getting out. There were collapses, lots of collapses, but Kohli stood alone amidst the ruins, and also I think scored 100 in Adelaide. Even in Adelaide, they left enough grass cover out there. So even if you go back in time, he played a lot of good knocks at his peak. Obviously, even in home conditions, he was very, very good between 2016 to 2019-20. And in 17-18 in South Africa, he played a couple of outstanding knocks. Even on that spiced up Wanderers track. Those two 40s that he scored, 40s, those were really gritty efforts. But that was Kohli at his peak. Maybe somewhere in the last 4 odd years, it kind of went missing for him. And when you tend to get out in a similar fashion again and again, it must have affected him in some ways or the other. Yes, I understand in that series in Australia, few of those were fuller length deliveries, a few of them were good length deliveries, and a couple of them were back of length deliveries. But still, he was getting out in a similar fashion, caught behind about 7 or 8 occasions. So somewhere it must have affected him. Yes, I think he still had a little bit of test cricket left in him, but for that, I guess he needed to work on a few things. Recently I was watching him in the IPL. I think it was RCB was Gujarat Titans. Gujarat Titans have enough of these tall fast bowlers who would ball back of length. That's what they basically did to Kohli. One was, I think, from Prasidh, the other was from Rabada, but he was able to somehow play that late cuts once, and the other time I think Rabada got one to big on him, and he was able to somehow steer it square of the wicket. That is when I thought that what exactly happened in those couple of years, because even when he played in Australia, he didn't play square of the wicket, didn't play those cut strokes, he didn't play those
Mhm.
punch. So I think that is where it went missing. Basically, what happened was the fast bowlers started to bowl back of length. It was kind of a free zone for fast bowlers, and then they would bowl that fuller length, the dangled carrot, for that drive to come in and for him to get out. Poor cover drive used to get criticized all the time, but I think it was because he was not able to play those shots square or behind square of the wickets on the offside. That kind of went against him, but that is how it worked out. Maybe there were other things behind the scenes about captaincy and whatever it is. I don't want to go there, but he definitely had a little bit of test cricket left in him. But having said that, I think he needed to work on a couple of aspects, especially playing shots square at the wicket on the offside. I think that is what basically went against him, especially in that series in Australia. What surprised me even more was, I think you were in that test series in South Africa 2023-24. You covered that test series. And in that, he played uppercuts and cut strokes against Rabada and Henry Burger.
Mhm.
I honestly don't know why those shots, punch or the cut, went missing in that test series in Australia.
Of course, but I'm pretty sure Kohli has that innovation in himself, but I don't know where it went during that Border-Gavaskar trophy. But Devashis, give us a sneak peek of Virat Kohli at his peak. I mean, you have covered him the most. You have had incidents also with him. But how was it to cover Virat Kohli? I'm not talking about white ball cricket. I'm talking about Test cricket because it gives you the time to interact with players, have more casual chat sessions with players. But how was it to cover Virat Kohli at his peak when people used to talk about his attitude issues, his ego issues, him being on a different level when it comes to talking to media people or how he's interacting with others. Virat Kohli at his peak, your memories.
Where should I start from? Means obviously,
Just don't mention that New Zealand incident.
I am giving advice, but obviously him showing that middle finger to Australian fans. They went for a team bonding session, and that
Mhm.
made headlines in all the Australian papers the following day. Obviously, that double hundred, his first double hundred is scored in Antigua. Sir Viv
Yes.
Richards obviously it was at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. Sir Viv Richards was there himself witnessing that innings, that double hundred from Virat, and later on in BCCI TV, Sir Viv gave an immense of heaped loads of praises and the mutual respect that both the legends have for each other. That has been a treat to watch. Obviously, that 2018 series win in Australia means who would have thought means India will go on to win that series. Means it was an incredible thing, and then did that dance that happened after the series win in Sydney. Anushka was there too, and then everyone struggled to get Cheteshwar Pujara doing that dance.
Yes.
And that was a moment. But what stood out in that series was that it was under Virat and Ravi Shastri that actually the fast bowling group developed. Means the Indian team, the fast bowling team, reached a pinnacle during the tenure of Virat Kohli and Ravi Shastri. Yes, India started winning matches when Saurav Ganguly was the captain. Mahendra Singh Dhoni also won the test matches abroad, but it was Virat who gave that belief in the side. No, we will give it a fight by playing for, outright five bowlers, and that include obviously there has to be at least 3 to 4 fast bowlers outright and quality fast bowlers. You name it,
Hmm.
Bumrah, you name it. And I also remember that series that Bumrah played. He made his debut in that series against West Indies in Jamaica, in Kingston. Means obviously what a spell it was. He just rattled the West Indies. So I think Virat Kohli will not just be remembered as a batter, but the captain. Means obviously that self belief, the fitness he imbibed in the team. Obviously, and that is what will stand out, the legacy of Virat Kohli, not just as a batter, but also as a captain. And that is something that will be very difficult to match.
Lovely, lovely there. Rohit, let's go back to Border-Gavaskar Trophy a bit. Covering Virat Kohli during Test matches was I think he was the only player when he used to walk at the nets. The entire media fraternity standing there would turn their heads and watch Virat Kohli bat. I mean, other players, you can say that okay, we are just going for a coffee, we are doing other work, we are recording our videos, we are doing something else. But when Virat Kohli used to walk in, every head used to be in one focus, that is that particular net where Virat is batting. Firstly, your best memories of BGT watching Virat Kohli? Yes, it was a frustrating series for him, and do you miss that kind of intensity which he used to bring to Test cricket? Yes, India has have played a few Test series since his retirement, but do you miss that intensity which he used to bring?
I think not only Indian journalists or the foreign journalists, but I remember capturing a video in my phone that a father came to
Hmm.
the Melbourne net, and he has his child, with him, maybe a 6, 7 year old, and he said to him that, are you watching the batter at number three? Means it's the net number three in Melbourne, because you remember that in Melbourne everyone can watch the batting nets. And he said the batter at, and he's not an Indian. He was an Australian, and he told to his this 5, 6 year old child that the batter at number three is the best batter in the world. So look at him, what he's doing exactly. I don't know whether he want him to pursue the cricket thing or not, but the way he told, his child that, look at the batter at number three is the best batter in the world. It tells you a certain kind of aura which Virat Kohli has, not even in the Indian people or the Indian media, but for the people coming from Australia, watching him bat and try to tell their own people that he is the best batter in the world. Yes, we can
Hmm.
debate, and maybe everyone is agree with that. Steve Smith is the best batter in the generation, and
Hmm.
now there's Joe Root also, who's doing really well. There's a Kane Williams. Obviously, there is a Fab Four debate, but
Hmm.
the way Virat Kohli has been perceived as far as in the foreign soils are concerned is what makes him a different kind of batter. And it's not only about the batter Virat Kohli, it's the
Hmm.
fitness, it's the aggression, and the similar thing you said. The kind of the incident I remember the most is not on-field incident. I remember that the kind of the kind of it, the kind of virality it got when he captured by a Channel 7 journalist in the Melbourne
Yes.
airport, when he landed there, and suddenly it's like all over the papers, all over the media again. Why I'm saying again? Because when we were landed in Perth, I remember me and
Hmm.
Devashish daily going for the newspapers, and what's on the Western Perth front page, what's on the
Hmm.
end page of the Western Perth newspaper. And it was already, coming to the second test, it was all over about Bumrah, that Jasprit Bumrah, Jasprit Bumrah, Jasprit Bumrah, when we
Yes.
landed in Adelaide. But till the time we were in Perth, it was all about Virat Kohli. And I remember this press conference quote from Jasprit Bumrah that Virat doesn't need Team India needs Virat Kohli. When
Yeah.
he's been asked, as far as the press conference is concerned, the pre-match day -1 press conference. So there are multiple moments as far as Virat Kohli is concerned. But yeah, the second part, yes, I really miss it. There is no one, who can bring that back to the Test cricket, like the kind of intensity he had. Beat sometime he's on the wrong side of it, like calling in the South African broadcasters that one person against 11 means one nation against 11 people, or maybe sometimes his press conferences where he said to the journalists that you will tell us the playing combination. There are some these sides of Virat Kohli also, which as a journalist maybe you don't like. But on the other hand, if you see 80-90% of his career, it was all about that intent. It was all about that energy. It was all about giving that, bowling powers to your bowlers. It was all about making. I remember reading this R. Sridhar book where he said that fielding is my top priority. I want this team to be the best fielding side. And since then we can see the numbers, how this Indian team performed in the field, also what they did overseas, most number of wins as far as overseas the numbers are concerned as far as a test captain. So means a legacy which I don't think will on, and I'm talking about maybe 50 years, 100 years down the line, not be easily forgotten. Means nobody can pull him back as far as what he did to Indian cricket with white jerseys on.
Chavikta, of course, it's a travesty that he has not completed 10,000 runs in Test cricket. But Virat Kohli, the legacy that he has built for Test cricket. Do you think numbers there should be numbers to justify it, or do you think after 50 years, 100 years, when people will talk about Test cricket based purely on the basis of numbers, people will remember Virat Kohli because of what he has done to revive Test cricket. It was not in great shape or in great space when MS retired from Test cricket, and Virat picked it up from ground zero and pulled it up to the pinnacle, the Test mace, and everything you can talk about. So Virat Kohli's legacy as Test cricketer, where would you put him? Will you put him at the top, where all these players with 10,000, 15,000 runs are there, or do you feel he will remain in the second bracket because he could not complete a certain milestone?
Very good question, Shuman. It is way beyond the hard numbers. Rohit mentioned the Fab Four during his era. And in that battle, Virat Kohli was John Lennon and followed
Hmm,
by Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr. Virat Kohli.
hmm.
If you ask me if will he feature in the list of the top three batters as far as in the history of Indian Test cricket? My answer is no. I'm not talking about Virat Kohli's technique because I'm not qualified enough to talk about Virat Kohli's technique. That falls in that falls into the category of Sunil Gavaskar and Sachin Tendulkar. So I'm not qualified to talk about his batting technique. If you ask me if he is among the top three, my answer is no, because my top three will always be Sunil Gavaskar, Sachin Tendulkar, and Rahul Dravid, as far as Indian Test batsmanship is concerned. Because I haven't, because the likes of Vijay Merchant, Vijay Hazare was before my time. Now, but in terms of what Virat has contributed to Test cricket, it is unmatched. Test cricket during that phase, and when MS retired, India were languishing at seventh in the ICC rankings. From there, taking the team to the top of the tree and staying there for 5 years. Devashish spoke about developing that pace battery. No, before that it didn't happen in Indian cricket. Bringing on that yo-yo test, just giving a facelift as far as fitness is concerned. But what Virat Kohli did for Test cricket became a dying breed during that phase. And without Virat Kohli, it could have slipped deeper into the mire. Virat Kohli saved that, and I think he is the last of the Mohicans. In terms of characters, we no longer have characters like Virat Kohli. Only maybe Ben Stokes is there. Otherwise, now Virat Kohli, post Virat Kohli, he is the last of the Mohicans. It's not about the hard numbers. It doesn't matter whether he has scored 10,000 or 9,000. What he has contributed to Test cricket, what he has done for Test cricket, will be remembered for a long, long, long time.
Very true, very true. And testament to that is his last Ranji Trophy appearance for Delhi at the Arun Jaitley Stadium. Rohit was there, and the kind of crowd that came in for that particular match was incredible. Final round of question, and since we are talking about Virat Kohli, let's talk about a bit about his future also, Bharat. And I think it's the same question for everyone, and I would like short answers to that since we are closing the show. Uh, Do you see Virat Kohli completing his 100 international test centuries? That's the question which everyone is asking in the build up to 27 World Cup. Do you see him completing 100 test century, 100 international centuries?
That's a bit difficult because you
India
don't
play around
see.
25 to 35 ODI
Yeah.
matches.
Still, maybe he will do it in ODI cricket if he gets 100 per every 2 games or something on those lines. Then he can do it. But still, it seems like a bit of a long shot to me.
Hmm.
Yes, I understand what you are saying, but I think he needs to get into a kind of form where he scores 300s in 3 ODIs or on those lines, and then perhaps he has a chance of doing it. But I think still it's a little bit of a long shot. I might look at him ending with, considering that he's only playing one format, about 90 to 100s or on those lines, maybe a little bit short, because because I know that he's a great player in ODI cricket. So for him, scoring 100 in ODI cricket is very much like gobbling up ice cream. That is what I
Hmm.
feel. So I would look at maybe the range of around 90 to 9400s if it goes well.
90 to 94. If it's
If it
90 to
goes
94, the entire country will urge BCCI to extend that
well.
Virat Kohli's
Maybe
contract for another year
if
for ODI.
everything goes well, the way he's
Yeah.
scoring all hundreds in ODI cricket, maybe he would end up with 90.
I'm pretty sure there will be petitions written in case Virat retires after 27 World Cup and he stays stuck at 94, 95 international centuries. Devash, is the 100 international centuries a possibility for Virat? What do you say?
I don't think that. I don't think that it will be realistically possible.
Hmm.
First of all, he now plays only one format, or rather two formats. Sorry. So I think it will be difficult. It will be difficult. And if you take that period 2019 to 22, 27 tests, he hasn't scored 100. He only scored only 100. So there will be time, and he won't be improving with age catching up now. Means obviously, so the chances of him getting out or being dismissed will be more compared to what it was, say, 5 years down the line. So I don't see, yeah, him. But obviously, when it comes to, but still, I think he relishes Test cricket, and obviously we can expect a few more hundreds from Virat. But to be reaching 100 century milestone, I think it will be very difficult.
Rohit?
So yeah, means I want it to happen. Means he can, he can easily do that with what happened in 2019, the way he was performing in 2019. But I think then after that, the 2 3 years pulled a lot of things back as far as Virat Kohli, especially the ODI batter, the Test batter. T20, yes, he had only 100 in that Asia Cup versus Afghanistan. But apart from that, his record in since 2016 to 2020, everyone was giving dates that this could be a possibility. The 2023 World Cup will be where he can break the 100 hundreds record. But yeah, at this point of time, I think he has 85 hundreds. So to score 16 hundreds
85.
from here, to break 100 hundreds means I don't want him to be, say that I'll also score 100 hundreds, because then it will be just a matchup with Sachin Tendulkar. So to go to 101, it still needs, I think, 16 more hundreds, and 16 hundreds in what, 25 to 30 games means every other game he has to score 100. Practically,
Now
it's
every
not.
board is demanding to make a three-match ODI series turn three-match ODI series into five.
But again, that will be really difficult for him. Means if that happens, then also the equation is score every 100 after 3 games, or maybe 3.5 games, score 100 there also. So that's not looking possible at this point of time. Yes, the way his form came up after that Sydney innings, from that Sydney innings to the South Africa series to New Zealand series, it looked really well. But I think apart from that, you have to see that they have to play, all around the world in this particular time. The South Africa, obviously the World Cup is also there. But the only thing is, are we sure that Virat is retiring after 2027 ODI World Cup? Maybe he'll play a 20 till 2028. Look, I'm not comparing the legends here, but we all thought that 2011 will be the thing for Sachin Tendulkar. 2011 winning World Cup at your home, at your home ground. What else you need? So means I personally thought at that point of time that maybe okay, Sachin didn't announce the retirement today on 2nd of April, but maybe 2 days, 3 days after, let the country celebrate, let things be come down a little bit, and then Sachin. But why Sachin played after that, I don't know. I don't have the reasons. There are multiple theories, say multiple things that he wanted to play the 2015 World Cup also. There are multiple things written. I'm not going there. I'm just saying that, and then Sachin didn't play the 2015 World Cup. So similar,
Hmm.
I'm thinking about Virat also, that maybe 2027 World Cup, and then maybe a year later he can call it a day. So I'm not very sure about that he will going to retire after the 2027 World Cup final, or maybe India become champion, or maybe a group stage exit, a knockout stage exit. I really don't know, but yes, I think that he can prolong as far as his career is concerned, because playing only one format, the fitness is there, runs we are seeing, he's in the orange cap list as far as
Hmm.
the IPL is concerned. So fit, we all know how fit he is. So there's nothing what is stopping him from playing a couple of years more as far as the ODI cricket is concerned.
Interesting theory there. Shamikda, what do you have to say? 100 international centuries possibility?
Shubhan, I'm not absolutely not concerned about the numbers. Even if he
Hmm.
finishes on 85 international 100, he would still be Virat Kohli. I think a match winning 65 over a 100 in a losing cause, Virat will take that any day of the week. So I'm absolutely not concerned about the numbers. Rohit said, "Kya hua tera wada?" In Virat's case, I will pick another Rafi Saab gem, and I will just say, "Abhi na jao chhodkar, dil abhi bhara nahi."
Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, I think that's the best ending we could have for this show. अभी ना जाओ छोड़कर दिल अभी भरा नहीं.
And
So
currently we associated more to the late Asha Bhosle ji. Sorry, uh, yeah, the late Asha Tai.
So yeah, I think that's a great ending to this session. Thank you, Shamikda, Bharat, Devashita, and Rohit for joining in. Let us know your best memories of Virat Kohli, the Test cricketer, and how shocked were you to see him call it quits from the format he loved the most last year. Exactly 1 year, 1 year from today's date. So let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and follow Red Sports for all things cricket and other sports as well. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.